So hello and welcome to the train room. Today we have the layout update for December 22 and January and February 23. So, and like usual, all our announcement. If you haven't noticed, which most didn't, we do now stream all our construction session on Twitch. And if you don't know what Twitch is, that's a place, it's like a YouTube for live stream. So if you want to see what we are doing and commenting while we are building and basically maybe changing how we build the layouts, then check out our Twitch channel and follow it there. We usually stream either on Wednesday or Thursday evening from 19:30 European time, and that depends on Sven Magnus' schedule. If we reach a certain amount on Twitch, we will be able to announce it in advance. So we got a bunch of new subscribers last month. So while making this video, we passed the 6,000 mark. And for our locomotive giveaway at 10,000 subscribers, if we are lucky, it should be at Christus, according to Social Blade. So keep subscribing if you haven't done it yet. And the last thing is, do you prefer more often layout updates, but shorter, or the current one with 4 layout updates per year? Please give your opinion in the comments. So that's enough for now, and let's dig straight into the layout update. So, and the first thing we had to do, we had this AL14 which constantly derailed, and we didn't find out, so we even used the slow motion video to catch what was the problem, and at the end it was just a plastic which was not properly set. So, and then the local community asked us if we could put a train around the upcoming gingerbread village we're organizing, and we gladly agreed. So we went there, and I bought the G-scale LGB train I used for the Model Railroad Day, and Magnus bought some Märklin, and we set it up. And then to control it, we had Sven Magnus had bought a timer which we could program, and it would turn off the power to the transformator. It was purely analog. So that device consisted of 2 remotely controlled plugs and a base station, and then you used your phone with the app provided to program it. And let's say the user experience was not that great. Took us several tries to get it working, and luckily I am used to use shitty programs. Yes, so at the end it worked very well, and we were quite pleased with the result.
4, 3, 2.
So the train would run
1.
during daytime and stop at night to avoid wear and change also. So, and then it was back to making more masts and produced. Since I fixed the 3D printer, I can't go in mass production of masts. Here to mention was that Anycubic, the maker of the printers, I showed them what was the problem, and basically they immediately sent a replacement screen from China. It was really good to work with them, because otherwise a new screen is really expensive. Then Sven Magnus started to work on the last part of the mountain. We was not finished yet, and because we didn't do it because of the Model Railroad Day expedition. We didn't want to have a unfinished part, or like work in progress. So there is he made a hiking path to the hiking area, which will be on our layout there. We have to put some people and signs and so. And then it was time to install the new masts, and I used all the different types I had made new, with like the tensioning mast and the double mast and so on. Then I also started to position the mast on the main line after the station. As the Ginger House village was located next to the grocery store, me and Sven Magnus went checking there if we had to buy stuff there. So then we noticed that one locomotive was not running anymore, so we went in and we had to just oil it a little bit and cleaned it, and then it ran fine for the remainder of the time. And I think it ran for like 5 weeks in total.
Let's go put it loose.
And this locomotive, it's the next digitalization project, and Sven Magnus will put a decoder for the first time in a locomotive, and we will stream it live on Twitch. So be there if you want to learn how to do that. And when you were in the room, it really smelled like a gingerbread. Then I swapped the LGB train to avoid wear on just on one side.
Nei, vi kjører i samme retning, jeg bare bytter.
Ja, du lar den rygge istedenfor?
Ja.
And a couple of weeks later, it was time to dismantle it because the gingerbread house were starting to be bad. And if you wonder what Norwegians do afterwards, they eat it. So my idea to 3D print it was not well received.
Det er ikke lov.
Det er ikke lov.
Nei, det er ikke lov. Det skal være spiselig.
And after we had removed all the trains, there was a crushing party where all the kids could come and destroy their house and eat it. So then it was back to the mast construction by always gluing the both parts which were 3D printed. And yes, then Sven Magnus had a little accident and spilled a lot of paint around the layout. And it had glue.
Heldigvis er det ingenting der. Og ingen skinner.
Nei,
Ja.
du har bildet av meg som...
Then it was time to grass again, and yeah, I think I had to buy more because we ran out. We used so much grass. So, and the next thing we decided was to weather the tracks, and I had bought a kit with color to paint tracks and ballast the correct way, and we're actually very pleased with the result. So we will do a tutorial video in the future on how to paint the tracks with that airbrush kit. So, and this is taken from the live stream, and Sven Magnus destroyed the next signal live on stream. So you will see this kind of stuff when you join in on Twitch. So, and probably you have seen our video for the creation of the Valimacha monolith with how to scan a very big object. And here you can see how I printed it, and my new 3D printer, and especially the wash and cure machine, which I think is the best investigation I did this year, because there's a problem is in Norway for like a third of the year there is not enough sun outside to cure 3D parts like it's proposed. So it's really good, and also the washing process, I don't have this gluey stuff anymore. So this extra $200 it was, or 200 euro, yeah. Anyway, it was really, really well invested money. The only problem is I need to fill it with isopropanol, and I need so much of it. It cost me like 100 euro just to fill it up. And the curing process, it reminds me of a lamp I had as kid, which had a flower in it which changed color and turn around. Looks a bit like that and even makes the same noise. And then I had to paint the monolith. So, and all these masts, they need to be painted. And yeah, it takes a long scale, and it's nearly soon on an industrial scale. But then I thought, if you had to buy all these masts from like Sommerfeld, it would cost me like €10 per mast. And I mean, I can print a lot of masts for that price. Then it was time to install all the masts properly, so it looks good. After the monolith was finally painted and looked good, it was time to mount it and install the LED, which is part of the art installation. Then it was just to drill a hole and pull the cables. I don't know, is that a thing in model railroad to piece art pieces along the way? You have statues, but like modern art. Yeah, if you have modern art on your layout somewhere, please send us some picture. You can use our Facebook or mention it in the comment. It would be interesting. Maybe it's a thing to do. We will show this all this modern art on layouts in the next layout update if we get enough sendings. So, and then I attacked the next piece, which was never finished. That was the remaining ballast on the main line between the like grill place, I would say, and back the cable car station. So I used a week where Sven Magnus was in Hamburg at the Mivula, so I could work in that place, which is usually you don't have place for two there. So that's for this layout update. We hope to see you soon again in the train room, and in the meantime, subscribe, like, and follow us also on Twitch and chat with us on our Discord.